So, what's up, guys? Today, welcome back to my channel, by the way. And I see this channel is taking its time to grow. Thank you all, I appreciate it. Anyways, today we're gonna make a coconut cake. Not the one that we bake, but it's pretty easy. It's just like boil the coconut a little and then the cake's ready, basically. So that's what we're gonna do. So what we need for this recipe, I'm gonna use 3 cups of coconut. But yeah, for this recipe, you should be using the original coconut that you get from the tree. You know, that coconut that you take out of the ox. However, I don't have that at hand, so I saw this in the supermarket and I decided to try it out. I don't know how it's gonna taste, but let's see. It's like a dried coconut basically, and they add sugar to it. So when I'm adding my sugar, I'm not gonna put a lot. So what I'm using here is like 3 cups of the dried sugar, sorry, the dried coconut, yeah. And I'm gonna use 1 cup of sugar because, as I said, it already have the sugar on it, so I'm not gonna add too much sugar. So yeah, I'm just gonna dump 1 cup of sugar into this and I'm gonna mix it up. We're gonna need 1/8 of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt and a 3/4 of a teaspoon of essence, vanilla essence. Yeah. Also, we're gonna need 1/4 cup of water. So I'm just pouring the water over the sugar and the coconut, and then I'm gonna mix it. And now it's time for my salt. As I've said before, we need 1/8 of teaspoon of salt. And I know I said 1/4 cup of water. However, when I look at it, it was too dry because, as you know, I was supposed to be using the original coconut, but I'm not using the original coconut, which has the water in it. Therefore, I had to add some more water. So I would say basically I add like 1/2 cup of water. Now, our essence is going to go in. This is just to give it the flavor. Next, we're going to put it on the stove to boil. And I'm gonna put it on medium heat because you don't want it too high. If it's too high, it's gonna burn, and if it's too low, it's gonna take forever to boil. So we're gonna use medium heat, and it's gonna take its time to heat up. You gotta put it on low because you don't want it to get burned. See, it's starting to boil. And as it's starting to boil, you have to stir it so that it doesn't stick to the pan because you don't want it to get burned, yeah? So you continue stir until it simmers and it becomes thick. After it becomes thick, then we're going to throw it out. And we have to try to get what's on the side as well, to scrape down the side so that it doesn't get stick to the pan as well. See, I'm just scraping it down. And we continue to mix. Then when this simmers and it gets thick, we're going to put it in a pan. And for this, we're going to make it in 2 colors. The top layer is going to be pink and the bottom is going to be white. So I'm going to take out some of this mixture and I'm going to add some food coloring to give it that pink color. And then we're going to use the rest that is left in the pan to put at the bottom. And I'm just mixing. While it's boiling, I'm mixing. So now you see the mixture is becoming very thick. We're almost there. Not there as yet, but we're almost there. Just need a little bit more of the water to dry out, and then so now it's ready. I think the water is almost out, so I'm gonna take out about a quarter of the coconut, and I'm gonna put it in a bowl. I'm gonna mix it with a pink food coloring. Mix it together to give it a pink color, and then we're gonna put this pink color on top of the white to make the cake. And I'm just gonna leave this on the stove to continue to simmer while I prepare the pink portion. So here we have the bowl with the pink food coloring and our mixture, and as you can see, I'm just adding in bit by bit. I don't want it to be very bright, and I don't really like a lot of food coloring in my food, so I'm just putting it bit by bit until I get the desired look that I'm looking for. I think this is it. I've reached my color that I'm looking for. Or maybe I can just put a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. And then you just combine it together. After which we're gonna put this on top. I like the color that I'm getting. It's not too bright. And here I'm just sprinkling a little of the powdered food coloring. The first one that I put in is the gel food coloring. It's kind of watery and look pale, so I'm just sprinkling a little of the red powdered food coloring. And yeah, I like this color better. It gives it a little bit more pop. So I just continue to work in my food coloring and let it settles a little before I put it in my pan. So here we go, and I'm gonna put it in this glass because I believe that it will be easier to come up to take it out when it's in the glass than the iron pan. So I just put this in my glass pan, and I'm gonna let it cool, after which I come back and show you guys the result. And I'm just gonna use the spoon that I'm using to flatten it at the bottom. That's the white portion. I'm gonna flatten it at the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the pink portion on top. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to get it as even as possible because I want everything to be on the same level. So yeah, just give it a little shape so that when I'm cutting it, it's not gonna be a challenge for me to cut it. So yeah, and now it's time for the fun part, and that's to add the color. Who doesn't like to see a little color in anything that you're doing, right? In life we need a little color in it. So yeah, I'm just applying my pink on top. Looks delicious. Red hot. Oh yeah, and then I'm just gonna layer this on top. And this is your no bake cake. your coconut no bake cake. When you have a little sweet tooth, you can just slice it up thinly and then just take a bite. And I'm just being extra right here. It doesn't have to be this defined, but I'm trying to cover all the white portion. I don't really want to, the only part that I want the white to show is when I cut it and it's at the bottom. I don't want any of the white to be peeking out on top. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just use this to cover all the white portion. Drum roll. And now it's time to put it in the fridge to let it chill. And then in no minute, I'm gonna let it sit on the countertop for a few minutes for it to cool. Then I'm gonna pop it in the fridge, and then probably about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, it will form, and then you can cut it. Because if you try to cut it now while it's hot, it's just gonna crumble. So you have to let it sit and cool first before you eat it. And the longer it stays, the better it will form. So if you want to leave it until probably later in the evening or in the night, you can do so. Now this is the result. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you all for watching.